What is good, guys and gals, and welcome to the Films and Pixels podcast, episode 44. I'm your host, Afif. It's been really quite some time since somewhere like mid to late October. Again, I haven't done a good job of being consistent with the uploading and communicating and all that stuff, but I know that needs to change. Also, I just don't always have the time, but I always try to whenever I can. So, and plus topics I don't really have a lot of, but just a few things on my mind. I want to review a movie I saw a month ago, Killers of the Flower Moon, plus news about some sort of random website that shut down called Omegle, and some big news earlier today actually regarding Microsoft and AI, and also an important figure joining the company. So yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. At least I hope so. I'll try to make it quick. I won't take too long, but regardless, I just want to quickly get my thoughts on some topics and, from just go from there. So yeah, from here on out, let's get things going. For this episode, I just want to quickly review Killers of the Flower Moon, directed by Martin Scorsese, starring Robert De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio. And you know what? These three have collaborated often, especially De Niro and Scorsese, for many years. Even movies like Taxi and The Goodfellas, and of course Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio, and even movies like The Aviator. And I know I'm missing some on the top of my head, but they've worked together many times, and this is another big hit right here. Let me say, in a year that really, we've seen delays due to strikes, and even some blockbuster big IP movies really underperforming in the box office, and most of them getting critically panned. This is honestly one of the better movies of the year. And yes, I'm not really aware of some of the indie movies released, and I actually think this is one of those years where even some very good movies that have been released for streaming platforms are worth watching. But in terms of actual movies to go to the movie theater and watch, I actually think this is worth your time and money. Yes, it may be 3.5 hours long. I'm not kidding, long. It's not fast paced or anything at all. But it is really good when it comes to the acting here, the cinematography, the art direction, the setting, everything included. It's a solid movie as well. And again, the plot goes sort of like this, two men conspire together to murder people part of the Oklahoma tribe, the Osage tribe, I think. I kind of forgot the name. I hope it's close to correct, but I remember, again, I watched this in October, but part of a tribe because they made a lot of money from oil well, and so they want to inherit that money, and they, slowly but surely conspire together to murder these people, the women or whomever that are rich from this family, and take the money for themselves, even with the help of some friends. And this is the plot, and of course, their actions do get the attention of the FBI later in the third act, but that's a different topic. And of course, with Leo's character, despite his actions, he is sort of conflicted because he's married to a woman he ended up loving, who also has insulin, and her insulin disease does play a role as he has slowly been poisoning her, and also helping murdering her siblings. At least nothing to do with the death of her mother, but you get the idea, just people that they've been slowly getting rid of just for some money. It's not like a war and anything, but again, just to keep that in mind, it's an excellent story based on a novel that released in 2017. And I look at this kind of movie and I think these actors, this director, everyone involved, cast and crew, they're still on top of their game. I think this is just a great example of what actual cinema, sort of a project that you're passionate about, that you want to illustrate, that you want to tell a story of, place it in a motion picture, bring the effort, of course, the budget as well, making that kind of effort is really important, especially with the top talent. De Niro still on top of his game, still one of the best of his generation, still one of the greats of all time, and just excellent performance by everyone involved as well. Another great movie. There hasn't been a really good movie like this since maybe in the summer with Oppenheimer and Barbie. So, and say what you want with one of them or both of them, but at least like I feel like these three movies, at least in the theater, like brought good cinema this year, you know, as well as competing with other streaming platforms. But still, excellent work here, and I just saw like everything that's been done. Yes, it may have been a slow pace, but still an excellent movie. I liked how they sort of contrasted with one another, conflicted with one another, and sorry, let me just think here. Like, and yeah, in a year due to disappointing box office movies from fatigue, I just think like this is sort of like a fresh start, like something just very real, very serious, just important, and I'm kind of glad we got this kind of movie here. And yeah, I know there were other cast members, their names just left my mind, but when you think of everything that has happened throughout this movie, especially some intense scenes as well, like everyone really brought their very best as well. I even liked how the movie closed itself. I'm not going to spoil it, but I will say that the visionary man himself made a cameo. That's just what I'm going to just leave it there. The visionary guy, the visionary man himself made a great cameo. And it's just, I just thought that it was like really interesting movie. So if you still get a chance to watch it, I mean, still do. It'd probably be worth it more than some awful blockbuster movie. Okay, so some news that broke recently. Not really big or important, something bigger I will talk about later, but some sort of website called Omegle was shut down after 14 years of service online. And I don't even know who, I'm not sure if anyone is aware of who knows of this Omegle website or who cares about it. I would be surprised if anyone was shocked or sad. I never heard of Omegle until recently. It's just like some sort of online service that allowed strangers to talk to each other. And of course, there were going to be dire consequences. That's exactly what happened with like criminals or some perverted people, whatever. You get the idea. Like it hasn't become a safe online platform that has led to arrests, maybe finances. May have been a reason having trouble keeping the website running, keeping the service ongoing. But still, like, I'm not even sure anyone would be sad, upset, angry, mad, whatever it may be for some sort of website that only lasted for 14 years, just gone, it's shut down. Just whoever knew Omegle, congrats. You know more than me on this, but I don't see how it's a big deal. But at least it keeps creepy, perverted criminals or strangers or any dangerous people off the internet, even though it doesn't stop them from social media platforms. But you get the idea. Just no need to be upset. Just, it is what it is. It's done, mercifully done, mercifully shut down this Omegle website. So good. All right. So in other major news, if you're already aware of the name Sam Altman, he used to be in charge or part of the board with Open AI. He was CEO of. So Sam Altman, he was one of the initial board members of Open AI, was fired as CEO of ChatGPT recently on Friday, and this decision was because of not being able to stay consistently candid in his communication with the board. So, they dropped him out. And because he was gone, like several OpenAI members, including Greg Brockman, decided to follow him, left OpenAI in protest. And so this was kind of a surprise for someone who has heavily contributed to the whole evolution of AI and so forth. There were discussions from the board members to bring him back, but they just rejected the idea, didn't allow him to come back. And even their replacement, Emmett Shear, immediately became the OpenAI CEO. And Satya Nadella posted a tweet on Twitter X saying that he's brought Sam Altman on board and committed to their work partnering with OpenAI and so forth. And I do have the tweet here. We remain committed to our partnership with OpenAI and have confidence in our product roadmap, our ability to continue to innovate with everything we announced at Microsoft Ignite, and in continuing to support our customers and partners. We look forward to getting to know Emmett Shear and OpenAI's new leadership team and working with them. And we're extremely excited to share the news that Sam Altman and Greg Brockman, together with colleagues, will be joining Microsoft to lead a new advanced AI research team. We look forward to moving quickly to provide them with the resources needed for their success. So yeah, I guess that's positive. I mean, Microsoft did invest in OpenAI like as high as $10 billion and acquired 50% of OpenAI ownership of the company. So that says a lot. I mean, of course, they like 50% investment. I mean, like $10 billion of, yeah, of course, like you got to make that work. There's, hey, let's stay friends. Let's bring this guy. Like, okay, Sam Altman no longer with OpenAI due to failing to be consistent in his communication or whatever it may be and was fired on Friday. All right, fine. Satya Nadella was saying, okay, yeah, why don't you come here? You know, keep up the good work. So that's, of course, that's going to be great and so forth. And I guess like, I mean, this is a big move in terms of AI technology. I mean, it's so important right now. I mean, it seems like the word AI itself became word of the year. So that's how important this whole studying, this whole evolution, you know, the investment of AI really has become over the last couple of years or so, especially now. So with Sam Altman no longer part of OpenAI as CEO and now working with Satya Nadella and Microsoft, I mean, it's going to be good. Hopefully there aren't any strange tensions between OpenAI and Microsoft with Sam Altman, but I think this partnership could work this way. But too bad the board members, which consisted of 4 people, decided not to bring Altman back. But hey, you know, what can you do? It is a business. Some decisions, you know, you accept or don't accept, but hey, you just make it work at the end of the day. So yeah, everyone hopefully can win. All right, guys and gals, that's really pretty much it for this week's episode of the Films and Pixels podcast. I'm your host, Afif. Please like and follow all my social media platforms. Would help, subscribe. And yeah, like I said, I just wanted to get a few things on my mind, whatever topics I had, just get it done. I didn't really have much, but just whatever I know I could think of recent or even something from a month ago. I know there's been some exciting stuff that's happened in recent weeks, whether it's in gaming or TV and so forth. And of course, I know what happened with a major loss just before Halloween. Maybe I'll talk about that sometime. I guess it's a bit too early, but yeah, I just want to leave it there. So again, thank you so much if you've watched and listened from beginning to end. YouTube, Spotify, Anghami, much appreciated on those platforms. Google Podcasts as well. So thank you so much. Good day and good night.